Hey guys, just a quick update video about a couple of things on this channel and so on. So you might have seen I did start up The Last of Us 2. And I was really struggling to decide if I want to, record it or stream the game. Because, recording takes a bit longer. Not really the recording part, but the editing part, right? Because I have to edit the videos afterwards and then upload them, etc. Blah, blah, blah. But I still, since I did play through The Last of Us 1 at the beginning of the year and the DLC just the other day, I figured, it might make sense to also make it have it as a YouTube series as well. But, having done this now for a couple of, I recorded a couple of episodes and I even uploaded some, I think I might actually not do it. Dramatic zoom in there. I think I might actually just play on my own. That's something I don't do a lot, and it's really difficult for me to do play on my own without recording or streaming, because I always feel guilty. I get this weird sense of guilt if I do it, I'm not being productive, I'm just wasting my time. If I play something, I should at least record it or something, because that does feel productive, because I'm creating something and yada yada yada. So I always have that feeling of doing that. But there have been a couple of games that I've been playing on my own a little bit, and I think I need that, man. I think I need to do that and just force myself to do it more often, to kind of step away from making videos or making packs or making things. I love creating stuff. That's kind of I guess that's where I get my validation, my self worth from or something. So I'm always trying to make something, but sometimes you just gotta shut up. Or shut off, rather. Both is good. And relax, right? Just do things for yourself. And I'm not doing that a lot. It's just wake up, I do work, and then I do immediately other stuff. There's never a break where I just take time for myself and just try to enjoy things. It's really difficult to enjoy those. But, once in a while it does work. With Jedi the Fallen Order, when I came out, I kind of had the same situation where I started recording it. I'd never released the videos because at some point then I decided, you know what, I think I just want to kind of enjoy this on my own, just relax and just play this game on my own. And that was really nice. It actually, it actually worked. I wasn't feeling all too guilty, and it was a lot of fun. I did the same recently with the Link's Awakening remake as well for the Switch. Just kind of been playing that a little bit, and I could stream these things, but again, and it's I have to be, even when you stream, it's a bit more relaxed than recording perhaps, but you still have to be on in a way. You still have to talk to people and try to do somewhat interesting commentary maybe. And it's still one of those situations where if I stream for 3 hours, I'll be tired. My voice will be tired, and I can't continue playing. And then I have to wait till I stream again before I can play again. And what if I want to play in between? And blah blah blah. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna, even though I did upload those 2 videos, I'm gonna just hide them. So if you're wondering, hey, where did these videos go? I'm gonna hide them. If you did watch that series and you enjoyed it, first of all, thank you for watching it. Means a lot, but also sorry. It's gonna not be here. I might do it similar with The Last of Us 1, where at some point in the future, after I've played The Last of Us 2, I'll replay the game on survivor difficulty or something. It's a bit of a challenge, but I think I'm just gonna play it on my own, because I really want to play this game just whenever, and not wait for my voice to recover or something like this. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. And it's not something that's if you just want to talk from a not business point, that's not the right word, because this isn't a business, but from a, if you want to grow your channel or something from that kind of point, it doesn't do anything for my channel. If anything, it might hurt my channel, because it doesn't bring in views, it doesn't bring in new people, it doesn't bring in views from existing people, because it's not the same demographic, right? It's not the Minecraft or survival game type. Well, it's a survival game, but you know what I mean, not a building game. Terraria kind of fits, Vintage Story would kind of fit, that kind of stuff. But Last of Us and so on, it's the same with other games I played in the past. It doesn't do well on a channel, and it's which is okay. I'm okay with that. I don't mind when videos don't get views or whatever. I'm much more I used to be bothered by that, but haven't been for a long time. I'm much more relaxed by this, because this is just a hobby. I don't care as much, but I do care about the time I invest into making those videos, and that time can be spent on other things, much more useful things, like making Poetica videos or working on packs like these. You might have been wondering what I'm doing here and why I'm standing in front of an Astral Sorcery ritual. I mentioned this a little bit in the past, and yes, I'm switching I'm switching topics. Last of Us is done. Let's talk about this. I've been mentioning that ever since I've been playing Poetica, I wanted to make my own Terraria mod pack that's a bit more magical. So this is kind of, I started working on this. This is kind of what this is. I've just been, you see some mods around here on blogs and me testing stuff. Anything you see here might change, so don't take this as something like, oh, this is going to be in the pack. No, it's just me messing with things and see what's possible, because Terraria changes a lot. Terraria changes Minecraft a lot. So there are certain things that are not possible or would require a custom mod or something to get working. I've been testing Astral Sorcery. Sometimes I speak faster than, or I think faster than I speak, or something like this, and then I stumble over my words. It's a bad habit I need to fix. This is a Mineralis ritual, which normally turns smooth stone into ores, right? So over here I was testing this. This is a ritual link that just sends the ritual down here. I was testing this out and just seeing if it would work even on Terraria Craft blocks. It does not currently. There currently is no config for this. It doesn't work on Between Stone even. Like, I have the Between Ends in here too currently, because if you might know that I've been working on a Between Ends pack as well, and I'm currently trying to see if I can combine both into one. Always going back and forth. Anyway, it doesn't work, as you can see, right? It's not turning. So unfortunately that doesn't work. So that would, I don't know if I can do that with a custom mod somehow, override which block this is checking for, because I checked the source code and is specifically looking for smooth stone, vanilla smooth stone, and there's no config option yet. There is a ticket that's been open at the beginning of the year asking for a config option, and the developer mentioned that that's something that's currently not possible, but that's about it. They haven't, like, there's no mention of, maybe that will be added or something. And I know they're currently really, really busy porting Astral Sorcery to 1.4 and maybe up. So I don't expect there to be much of a change regarding this kind of stuff in 1.12. Maybe in 1.14 and so on, but that doesn't help me. So I'm gonna have to see if I can do this with a custom mod that I can change or allow like any type of stone to be converted as well. There's a config option to determine what ores spawn, so that's good. So you can do that at least. If I do make a custom mod, I should probably do it so that, if it's like raw andesite, it actually gets the ore that can spawn in raw andesite, like limonite. Because it would be weird if there's like rhyolite or something, like a different stone, and then suddenly you have like this block in there. I'd be okay with that, but if I make a custom mod that can override that, then I might as well try to make it properly, whatever. Anyway, so yeah, this is a really like magic focused mod pack. Very early on still. I'm still in the phase of let's see what kind of mods I want to use. There's certain mods where I'm like pretty certain, especially, well, maybe not that certain, but more certain than other things about this pack. But like Between Ends and stuff. If I do go with the Between Ends, I want to make sure that I use the mods that I was using in the Between Ends pack I was working on, because then I can combine those a little bit together. I don't know how well that's gonna work. I might still have just the Between Ends pack. If I go with this and I do add the Between Ends and add some of the ideas I had for the Between Ends pack, then I might just end up making a pretty light Between Ends pack on the side. That's really just the Between Ends with a couple of quality of life and maybe some additions, just for me to play through just the Between Ends, because it's like one of my favorite mods and I want to play it. And something on Terraria would make this a bit more difficult, of course, but whatever. Anyway, so yeah, so something, some mods are pretty certain. I'm pretty sure I go with Thorncraft. I was actually on the fence about it because I really want to use Astral Sorcery, because Astral Sorcery, I couldn't use my Between Ends pack because the Between Ends doesn't work with the stars, and I didn't have an overworld in there. So I figured, well, now I do. So maybe we'll use Astral Sorcery. I just need to make sure that things work, that things actually makes sense. And sometimes it's something I realized, but maybe that's also a thing with tech mods, but I'm realizing sometimes that I don't actually know sometimes why you want to make save progress in Astral Sorcery, but I guess there are certain things that are very useful, right? Like the Mineralis thing, like the enchantment system, like the tree beacon, which actually doesn't work in Terraria Craft, unfortunately. So that's a thing that might not work. Maybe I can fix that with a custom mod too, but it doesn't recognize those trees unfortunately, when they grow or something. You know, and that kind of stuff is still useful, but like just utility-wise, like what else does it give you other than maybe, you know, get more ores or something? But I guess it's good enough, and also just, you know, it's a fun mod to mess with. But like Thorncraft, for example, you have the golems, which you can actually use to automate things. You have a board that you can then use to help you mine a bit faster in Terra Firma Craft. It's actually quite fun and risky because these guys, you know, they do mine and stuff, and depending on the pickaxe you put in there, it's fast or slow. I give it a primal crusher, which is pretty cool. You can even give it the swift. Why can't I type pick? The swift pick from the Between Lands, and it gets a speed of +50. It just goes. Look at that. That's amazing. So yeah, these are really cool, like little updates you get later, but it also causes cave-ins and all kinds of shenanigans, which is fun. You know, arcane archives for better storage later, although I have reduced the stack size to just 1 stack because normally in Terra Firma Craft you can't put these locks, you know, you have to like place them like this. In the world you can't put them in chests, but of course with modded stuff you can. But right now there's a weird thing where you can actually put, so I said only 1 stack can be in the slot, but because stack sizes are smaller, it thinks that this is only like a 1/4 stack. It doesn't think that that's 1 stack, but I mentioned this to the developer already, so maybe that'll be something that can be changed. But even if not, I mean, this is going to be something that's a late game probably, and you know, you would need like iron and gold and that kind of stuff first anyway, which is a bit tricky to get, or it's a lot of work to get in Terra Firma Craft, and at that point I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. Use it. Or maybe I'll do, there is actually a mod that makes it so that certain items can be tossed out of chests if they shouldn't be in like certain modded chests, but the mod seems a bit buggy. I'm not sure, I have to double check, but anyway, just rambling on at this point. I don't want to make this too long, but yeah, so it's mostly magic based, but there is some tech stuff too. It's like a magic tech more, you know, embers probably for better ore processing. I'm trying to make sure that the mods I add actually have a purpose. You know, I don't want to just add mods to be in here. Like everything I add has to have a use to improve your Terra Firma life, Terra Firma Craft life in a way, right? So like the arcane boars, for example, is a really good upgrade for mining in the eventually. And if you can combine this with the Mineralis ritual later too, that would be such a cool way of generating more ores. Obviously, this has to be tweaked a bit because we don't want to like swim in ores in Terra Firma Craft. But I mean, you know, maybe I can slow down at which rate they'll generate or something, and it would still require quite a lot of work and research and resources to get to this point, and I think that would be really fun to do. And then, you know, Thorncraft has a lot of useful stuff like the golems. The golems itself, I mean, there's always these things where like certain things will not work in Terra Firma Craft. It's just how it is. Like, for example, the lamp of fertility and growth, right? One of them grows crops quicker, one of them grows animals quicker. They don't work with Terra Firma Craft stuff. You could still use them on things like, currently have roots in here, which I'll most likely keep. You know, roots crops work a bit different, so you could still use those on those things. So there's a bit of use, and you can also use them in the Between Lands. So if I do keep the Between Lands, there's still use for them as well. So it's not completely useful, but it's not as useful as it would be in a vanilla game. But there's certain weird things like, for example, Rustic has wildberry bushes. These grow really quick, which is pretty, it kind of goes against the whole Terra Firma Craft system too. So I might disable those because I don't think I can adjust how quick they grow, berries or something. And it's not too necessary, just berry bushes in Terra Firma Craft. You know, Roots has a different crop system where you can actually grow them quicker and bone meal them, which isn't a thing that you can do with Terra Firma Craft crops normally. Like if you take like jute or something, like things take a long time to grow in Terra Firma Craft, right? You can't, it doesn't work. But there's other mods that I can add where I could make it so that bone meal is not as effective, or even not effective at all, and also increase how long it takes for them to grow. And I will have to see if like maybe the staff, maybe I can make it so that bone meal doesn't work, but the growth infusion staff works from Roots. It's actually not growing. Is it because I don't have daylight cycle on? Oh, now it is. Weird. I don't know what that was. Anyway, so, you know, maybe you can make it so that this still works on these crops and the Between Lands crops. It won't work on this stuff, unfortunately. You can see 0%. You can't speed that up, but that's okay. I'm okay with that. You know, Terra Firma Craft is all about not having too many resources really, so that's something to consider. But yeah, there's some fun stuff. You know, been going through the mods, just checking if there's fun stuff you can do, and there totally is. There's I think it's going to be interesting to do some of these things, like automating glass production here with embers, or even just having embers in general to process iron and making plates, so you don't have to use the smithing table. But the smithing table is still useful if you want to make tools, because you get the smithing bonus, so you can actually make better tools, etc. So, you know, it's a back and forth. So I think it's pretty, like, I'm enjoying this a lot already. I'm really looking forward to just messing with that. I started changing recipes already and just kind of figuring out the progression through the pack. I don't want to make it too, you know, it's not going to be an expert pack or anything like this. I don't want to change the recipes a ton, but, you know, obviously I have to change some because we don't have vanilla items, so some of them require vanilla items, but also I want to make sure that the progression kind of works a little bit, like that you can't just say you jump into Dawncraft before you have iron or something, and somehow you now can bypass all the Terraformer Craft, Bloomery, and Blast Furnace and so on. I still want you to be able to use them and be useful at the beginning, and then at some point you'll bypass it. But so it's mostly the things that gate entry into a mod is going to be what prevents you from making progress there. Not so much that every single item will be changed or something. So yeah. Anyway, I think you know, that should be it. So yeah, it's quick recap. I didn't do a good job of explaining the whole like Poetica or Terraformacraft thing anyway. So Last of Us, I think I'll remove from the channel. I'll just play it on my own, and in the future we might come back and play it again on like this deck has been bothering me the whole time, on a higher difficulty or something, as a bit of a challenge. And I'll just focus on Poetica and, you know, Terraria and stuff for the channel in between. So that will just continue pretty much the same way as always. And yeah, I'll work on this pack, and I still have to work on the Serious Engineering update, which I have so many plans for that pack, like some really weird, crazy ideas I want to try out, but they really take so much time to do that I don't really have that time. Well, it's not true. You can always have the time. You just have to make time. But I don't want to invest that time, I guess is more accurate. But I do want to release an update that fixes a bunch of issues and also adds some more quality of life stuff that I've been talking about for a while. So I need to get that done, and probably soon, so I can focus on this pack here as well and just make a bit more progress, and probably let you guys know if there is any cool new stuff happening with this pack here. But yeah, so thanks a lot for watching, guys. See you guys soon. Bye bye.